Before we get into the message today, just wanted to give a little update on something we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So if you're brand new today, hang with us. If you've been here for a while and you call Restoration Church your home, you can listen up. We have been talking the last couple of weeks how for the last few months we've kind of faced a little bit of a gap in our projected giving versus our actual giving. And someone asked me this, and I realized may have never answered this question, but we are not a part of a larger denominational funding structure, so all of what we do comes from the generosity of everyday, ordinary folks here that call Restoration Church home, believing in the mission of what God is doing, not only in their own life, but in the lives of their family members, friends, neighbors, and even people we have yet to reach with the empowering love of Jesus. And so our budget is fully based on people saying, this church is doing something in my life, God's moving here, and I want to move my life and resources in the direction of that mission. It's 100% free will, which is always fun to run a nonprofit in economic times like these. But that's just kind of our reality. We mentioned the last couple of weeks that we've been about $8,000 on average under projected giving for the last few months. And what's exciting is as we've named this, over the last few weeks, 8 people have began giving for the very first time here at Restoration Church, which is amazing and absolutely worth celebrating. None of them gave $8,000, but we are grateful, very, very grateful, because anytime anybody steps into that movement of generosity, something is happening in their life that's more, it's worth celebrating much more than any dollar amount, even if it was $8,000. But our hope is that as a community, that we would not just give out of our excess, but we would actually begin to grow in our relationship with God in a way that stepping into sacrificial percentage giving would become normal, especially for those of us that call Restoration Church home and are saying we're starting to follow Jesus as best we know how. And so for those of you that might have been here for a while, but you've never stepped into that giving journey, I would encourage you, now is a great time to take that step, to join those other 8 and begin giving around here. 1 is infinitely greater than 0, so every first step is worth celebrating. For those of you that may have given occasionally, but you've never set up a regular giving, that helps us plan and prepare it's very, very helpful for us. And so if you would like to become a reoccurring giver, that also helps you kind of automate what is really important in your life, that you are consistently a part of the mission here through your generosity. And for some of you, you've set up reoccurring giving, but it was just kind of a one-point thing, a couple of dollars a week or $100 a month or whatever it was a couple of years ago, and maybe your reality has changed financially, or more importantly, what we hope and pray is that God has grown you to actually go from just being a reoccurring giver to actually being a percentage giver, where you say, God, I'm going to give to you first before anything else. I'm going to set aside a percentage of my income to say I am going to prioritize and put first the kingdom of God as Jesus taught us to. And you can do all of that on our website, and there's a QR code on the screen to fast track you there if you'd like to begin to adjust or even set up for the first time your reoccurring giving. But we're just so grateful that, again, everything we do is funded by generous people, and we hope that as you grow in generosity, that isn't just paying bills and checking a box, but it actually does something in your soul. Because as we dive into this series today of Less is More, I was reading an article this week around, hey, according to Jesus, if you look through the Gospels, based on just the amount of times he talked about something that grows your soul, purely by volume of passage, what are the top 3 things that help you grow? I don't know about you, if you've been in church for a while, if I were to look at my own life and my own story and history, what I was told, this is how you grow, I would probably say the top 3 would be church attendance, Bible reading, and prayer, right? Those would be the first 3 things that come to my mind. But according to Jesus, the top 3 things that grow your soul to become more of who God created you to be are pain and suffering, generosity, and forgiveness or forbearance. That forgiving those who have offended you, holding space when you don't feel patient, when you don't get your way, that those 3 things, right, pain and suffering, the hidden curriculum, as John Ortberg says, of difficulty in life, choosing to be generous, to release the thing that has the hold on us the most, to choose to be sacrificially generous, and then to forbear and forgive those that have harmed us. Those are the things that actually help us become more like Jesus. Now, those are not message topics that are going to fill a church and raise a budget, right? But they are what Jesus talks about, which is why we're in this series called Less is More, as we've been exploring how Jesus not only offers a plan, but actually a pathway that is visible, predictable, that we can see, that as we become a disciple, an apprentice, a follower of Jesus, that we are invited into this pattern scholars call the cruciform life.